What's up, guys? Welcome. We are doing this very requested class because everyone has seen a copy of Karina's Cooper book. And now that Cooper and Coffee is starting, even if you're not doing Cooper and Coffee and you're trying to figure out a way to organize your Cooper book and have less response effort to get to different topics and chapters, this is your time to be here for this. And so we are going to go over how to tab your Cooper book. We take tabbing V seriously around here. And Karina takes it so seriously that she made an entire presentation on how to tab your effing Cooper book. So without further ado, thank you, Karina. Let's see what you have to tell if your task analysis is going to be proven to be effective.
Ooh, I'm going to check that technological component, girl. All right, guys. So hello to everybody that's out there. I just wanted to put some little tips and tricks that I learned along the way. Not gonna lie, I kind of destroyed 2 packs of tabs before I was actually able to get it right. So from my mistakes, you shall learn, okay? So these are the little supply list. Obviously, grab your Cooper book, grab whatever version you're gonna be utilizing. And then from there, get plenty of tabs, right? There are 31 chapters. Look, you can see I used a lot of them, right? I also tabbed the glossary, the bibliography, and the index. Why? Because I want to be nice, nerd alert. But that's kind of what I go through, right? Like making sure that you have at least 35 tabs that you're going to go over. More is best. Obviously, the size does matter. I went with 2.5. I have the link and everything that I'll share with the ones I specifically used. But the larger, the easier it'll be for you to write. Also, get whatever fine tip marker pen. I use the 0.51. I love super thin pens that I can make clear lines. You'll need scissors, ruler, random piece of paper, because I'm going to show you how to make a little easy template, and patience. Most of all, I hope you brought that. If not, leave it for another day, something. Okay. So, disclaimer, this is not the only way to tab your book. Okay. This is what works for me. This is what I really like to do as we go through it. Liat, Casey, whatever you guys have as like suggestions or other things that you have heard, shoot them out here, because again, this is just what works for me. Not every intervention is the same for every learner, right? So that being said, let's go into what my book looks like. So my book, has 2 different sets of tabs down the side. Long-wise, I have every single chapter labeled again with the glossary, bibliography, and the index. Now, along the top, I included the pictures or visuals that I constantly reference. Like, for instance, is this behavior socially significant? I can flip to that page, go through the little visual checklist, and see if it really does work, right? Going through target behavior, IOAs. So these are the things that I often reference. I've seen them be done where people put the task list sections up here. I never really got into that because if I was able to find it on the task list, I knew what chapter it was in. It was easy. So make it your own. You don't have to add the top ones. Don't be a psycho like me. But this is what I really found it to be helpful, especially in my tutoring and my supervision. This is my Bible. I bring it with me almost everywhere I go. I have a copy at work, right? We want to be able to reference them. Yeah, how did you tab your tabs?
My tabs are all they each say a chapter number. So it'd be like chapter 2, concepts and basic principles, positive reinforcement, whatever it is on the side. And then I have like white tabs with like a color line on the top for my glossary in the back. And I have actually a few like these. So glossary, can you guys see this?
Kind of, yeah. Can you get it closer?
I know, but I have like A through E as the start of my glossary. Then I have D through E, these sections, I through M, N through R
I
through
like
S,
that.
because I always am looking back there, and for some reason it's the last thing I have. I don't have the bibliography because that's just like Karina. Like, I'm not reading that often.
Yeah, but again, that just goes to show how your book should be what you need it to be, right? Like, you want to make sure that you are able to quickly reference those things that you constantly need. And if not, you're just going to be wasting that tab for the bibliography or whatever you're not going to be actually using. So again, this is what it kind of looks like. People ask for more questions or more pictures, so there they are.
I have a quick question.
What's up?
So now this is perfect. Okay, I got those tabs. You can go back to the tab picture.
Cool.
So I ordered these tabs. They are the Avery Ultra tab, the pastel to like go match the cover of Cooper. My question is, I'm just starting my first tabbing. I tabbed Cooper before, but it was so bad it didn't make any sense. So I'm doing it new today with you. But my question is, when you're writing on them, right? You might get there, but do you take it off and then write, or do you keep it on the pack of them?
Wait, did you see what one girl posted? It was amazing. Do you have a piece of graph
It was
paper?
Anesia.
It was Anesia. She put a.
I saw the graph paper.
She put a piece of graph paper down.
Yeah.
Or lined paper, and then put the clear tab on top of it so that she was writing straight.
Yeah, but my tab isn't see-through. Like I wouldn't be able to see the lines. You have to have a see-through tab.
If your tabs are see-through, you could use the graph paper ones. I just left it on the little tab and wrote it there.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, it was easier for me. I didn't get to, because the ones you have, they're not see-through at all. They're like solid colored paper.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
So, so
when
if
I
you
saw
have
that,
that
like,
luxury,
I was like super impressed.
Right? Her brain is amazing. She's actually in the doctoral program with me as well. She's
That's
my classmate.
Aw, shout out.
Yeah, shout out to my girl Nesia. So okay, next things, guys. You pick the tabs, right? We were just talking about these, like the tabs with the yellow background that says filing tabs. Those are see-through, and you could place them on top of things to write with that nice graph paper. The ones I have are not. They are writable, so you could like write on it. They won't smudge, because that drives me nuts. And that's one of the reasons why. But you can also get these printable ones, right? Like if you just suck at writing or you're not like super confident in, just get the printable ones, type in the chapters, print them out and label them yourself. But these are like the different options. And then on the far right, I put the little mini tabs that I also used on top just because they match the other ones and look how cute it looks together. But make sure that the tabs that you pick work for you. Some people like tiny little tabs. Some people like using Post-its, like whatever it is, make it work. Okay. So step one, pick the tabs that are going to work for you. Step two, you're going to actually now label your tabs. Right now, when you're going through the labeling, you have to consider different things, right? Like, first of all, and this took me a while, I'm like, what looks best? And I ruined one pack, right? Do you want the writing to be facing into the book? Like this example here that says walking and it's facing towards the book. Or like myself, do you want it to face out? I know that seems dumb, but make sure that you pick so you're not flipping back and forth, because then that's going to drive somebody crazy.
And be careful. I'm living with regret now because mine face in.
I just started my first one. I wrote one and it's facing in, and I was like, I need to get rid of that.
Yeah, and like for instance, for me, the ones down the side, I had them right out because I like to be able to see on the side and then flip over to it. The ones on top, I just wrote them on top. I wasn't going to flip them upside down because when I hold my book, I can just read everything straight across. So before you like write everything down, make a decision, stick to it, and don't make your book look all crazy. Okay. Now, the second thing, these chapter names are long as heck. Okay. So you have to learn how to like abbreviate those as much as possible. So for instance, chapter 5, the entire title is Improving and Assessing the Quality of Behavioral Measurement. You would need like 5 tabs to be able to write all that in, right? So
Speak
what
for yourself, Biatch. I got it all on my tab.
Okay, I need a picture of that because I don't think I could be able to read that handwriting. Now, for me, guys, what I did is I abbreviated it, right? My actual tab is the bolded one. So I put 5 because that was a chapter number, : quality of behavioral measurement, right? I was able to make sure that they were all written in 2 different lines, or like, for instance, you can see in the picture, it says graphic data and then underneath displays. I try to make everything balanced, but remember that if you're going to be abbreviating your chapters, then you want them to make them consistent and that they actually get you to the item, right? Like you don't want to put quality of behavior or improving behavior if you're actually talking about any measurements or whatever. So your title should match the actual concept, make it as applicable as possible. And then last, do you care about the glossary, bibliography, and index? or you're just gonna eventually find it there, right? So once
Dude,
you actually
I don't think that's like a do you care. It's like literally changed my life since I put the index in the back. Like Casey, for you, for example, I feel like that would be money. And the fact that I did it like A through E, this through that, it makes
I
your
might
life.
even do like A through C, D through like F, because like I reference that so much.
That's
Like,
what I'm saying. Like in class, if you get something in the chat and you want to answer it, it's like, it will also increase the likelihood so much that you guys go back and look in your book. Because also, like when I didn't have it ever in my second edition Cooper book until I did this one. I mean, I obviously had an index, but I didn't use it. And I always would be like stuck in like the, like the page numbers in the back where it shows you like what page different things are on, or which I also have that labeled, or like the bibliography, authors. And so it could be really helpful.
Absolutely. And if, hey, you're just wanting to like label the chapters and that's what you're only going to do until you get into like deeper studying, that's cool. Remember, your book should serve whatever you are currently doing, right? BCBA that's already certified might tab it differently than somebody that's studying for the exam. Don't compare your tabs to others. Make it your own, guys. Deal?
I just had a mind-blowing moment. I was like, what color? I just did my first one. I'm like, oh, what color do I do next? And I was like, I see how you did the pattern like for purple, pink in one area. So you start at the top in one, and then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you start back at the top and do 7, 8, 9.
Yep.
This is mind-blowing.
Yeah, and I try to do it just because I do like the yellow or green, blue, pink, purple aspect of being shown in different areas. But again, when I go into the next step, you're going to see that you don't have to do all 6. You can actually break it down and make it where it's only 5 tabs, like on here on the left, right? I like the 6. I like being able to see it all a little bit better, but play around with it. I literally made a template of paper and I kind of try to write down the inches and everything that you measure out. So it's literally just very easy to lay them down. But if you want them to look all nice and straight, this is what I did. It was my little cheat sheet, guys. I created a template. I did math and it was crazy and mind blowing, but if you want it to look exactly like mine with these 6 tabs and like super busy, then you're gonna do the 1.9 inches, right? Now, hold on, I'm gonna walk this through you, okay, or with you. So my first tab, and these you can just remove. The very first tab at the top of the page, and then the very bottom tab, if you are only doing those 6 tabs completely. Right? So if you're doing the image on the left where you want all 6 of them to show, then for the top, you have to cut the top little edge so it's even, right? You can't let it overflow because then it looks crazy. But that is the only little cuts that you do. It's on the very top and on the very bottom. If you make those cuts, then every single other thing fits perfectly into the book itself. So once you make the decision, either I want 5 or I want 6, so you can do it 4 if you wanted to. I didn't like how 4 looked, but it's up to you. Again, whatever makes it more legible and easy for you to access. Once you make that decision, you're going to create this little template, right? If you're going for 5, measure your little lines 2.2 inches apart, sorry. If you're doing the 6, it's gonna be 1.9. Does that make sense? Any questions so far?
No, you're doing wonderful. And I'll tell you if there's any questions in here. Woo, woo, my tabs just came in. No questions.
Sweetness. So once
I mean,
you
I
already...
don't think it could have been any more technological. This is like so beautiful.
Oh, thanks. I tried. So once you create your template, and I actually have mine here, right? So I decided to go off of the ones that have 6 and I have it written down. And what I actually started doing is placing the first picture or the first page of each chapter. I would flip over to it, right? And like, let's say here on chapter 2, I would open it to the actual chapter 2 page, lay my template over it, and that's how I knew where my tab needed to be centered, And then when I was done with that chapter, I was like, cool, let's do the next one. Flip it over, lay it on there, boom. And I know exactly what tab needs to go there, right? Oh, see, they overlap, all of them. So in reality, this little template that you make is going to be your savior. You can also like eyeball it and like kind of close your book, see where it goes. If you are specific and very detail oriented like myself, it will not work. You will cry, you will waste a lot of tabs, okay? But that is how you go through it. You make sure that you are going through each one. And one of the things, and this is like a personal choice, guys, like for instance, chapter 1 starts on the left-hand page, right? I didn't tab the back of the page, I tabbed the next one over. So when I flip to that tab, it is on chapter 1. Did that make sense?
Yes.
Perfect. So that's how you go through the tabs, and you repeat it all the way through to your 31. You go down to your index, bibliography, everything else that you are tabbing on there. And once you get to the end, you can just switch to the top. And these, I was a little bit more like freeballing it, really. But I picked topics that were important. I literally just flipped through the Cooper book and I saw what I was quickly or often referencing, and I just tabbed it up on top. That one doesn't have really a big science like the other ones do.
By the way, Maggie's in the chat here and she said, I am fangirling so hard. Karina, you are on fire. Or no, she said, you are fire.
Ooh, girl. Thanks, Maggie. But that's kind of how I did it, guys. I went through the positions with this little template. If anybody wants me to like send a better picture, I totally can. But it's really useful. I found it to help. And then you can make it to like any book. So it doesn't just have to be Cooper. Like if you're going into any study guides that you create, use your tabs, make sure that you are like really making it easy for you to actually study and make this fun, right? I love how my book looks. I think it looks super cute. I bring it everywhere because everybody wants to talk to me about it. And I'm like, oh my God, yeah, let me show you chapter 17, right? But make it reinforcing for yourself. So that would be step 3. Step 4, guys, is read the freaking book. We do have the Cooper and Coffee class on Sunday, which this is the information. If you are not a member, you can still do a drop by or like drop in. What are they called? Yeah, drop in.
Drive by. I think that's like a shooting.
It could also be a birthday thing now. You do a drive-by birthday.
Oh, you're right. Okay. Yes, you could drop into the class if you would like. This is really cool, whether you're in the class or not, to tab your book like this. I think it's awesome. And the one thing that I do want to emphasize that you said, which I think is really important, is they're going to be, look, I'm using my new bookmark for what I was reading from the BCBA pack. But there's certain things that like you might be looking at more regularly. Like I know every single collective or every Instagram live I do, I'm going to get the question on behavioral cusp. So I have a mini thing at the top here, behavior cusp. I don't have that many on the top of this book yet, but I'm sure as we go through the Cooper and Coffee, I'll be adding more because I feel like with the collective now, I've been referring to my second edition more. But the contest is still on for making your Cooper cover cute. 3rd edition books. The winner gets a BCBA pack. Stoked. And yeah, guys, thanks for coming to watch this. I mean, this is...
Will you give them details on the contest?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so the 3rd edition, anyone who's doing the Cooper and Coffee, we have a contest going on to decorate your 3rd edition Cooper book. It will be due, and Casey's going to put in the calendar for us right now because I'm about to choose a date. This is how I improv on the spot. You like it? All right. It will be due on the Sunday, the 17th. Sunday, the 17th. I need you to tag me in your 3rd edition Cooper book or post it in the Cooper and Coffee private Facebook group. I'm looking for unique. I'm looking for cute. I'm looking for rhinestones. I'm looking for feathers. I'm looking for For tassels, I'm looking for anything you want to stick on there, branches from nature. Make this book reinforcing to you, something that you like to look at. I actually need to decorate the front cover of my 3rd edition. I can't believe it's blank because my 2nd edition looks like a skateboard bottom. So that's where, and we will announce a winner. Thank you guys for coming. Hopefully you guys have seen that the CEUs have finally launched, which is a big fucking deal. This has been long in the making. And so our CEUs are available now. I'm really excited to have these different opportunities. If you are I know we miss a lot of you and we hear that you miss us or something, there's a rumor. And so you don't have to be done with us when you're done studying. So go check that out. We have a lot of cool stuff on the site. The BCBA boxes, cool shit. Get your Cooper books out and start tabbing because we're about to break into the shit this weekend.
I am so ready. And guys, for reals, I was lucky enough to be like a guinea pig for the CUs. Mind blowing. You gotta sign up for the Cooper book. Like literally don't stop growing and grow with these ladies. They're amazing.
Karina.
You are amazing and we love you. And thank you for taking time out of your day to
Thanks, guys.
come here and see. I have now got behavioral momentum. I have my 1, 2, and 3 done, and I am pumped for my Friday night tabbing party.
Heck yeah. Post pictures on the group. Let me see how it worked. Let me see if my TA actually was successful.
I need a good picture, Karina, that's in square mode, please. I want to post this on Instagram.
Yes, I'll get it for you. And I'll share the slide so you can go back and like read my little silly notes. But if you guys have questions, I'm always here, guys. Hit me up. Happy to help.
We can't wait to see you on Sunday.
See you later.